What's good, YouTube? This is your boy Christmas Hero, the channel where a true hero lives, baby. And I'm coming at you live. I'm making this intro and the outro outside because I'm in the middle of doing errands as I get ready for work. But I just wanted to get this video out there to you guys because I promised I would. And speaking on that, thank you guys for being so patient with my YouTube. I'm currently working 4 to 6 days a week while doing school. So my current struggle right now is editing, and I have to learn how to edit. It's just I haven't had the time to learn how to edit. So big shout outs to my friend Travell. He's the one who's actually going to put the music on for this video and merge everything together. But here's my deck profile for when I went undefeated for 9 rounds and lost in finals at LA Regionals September 30th. And I think Hero's a really strong deck, and I know it's rogue, but it has a lot of elements that you want in a combo deck. And I hope this deck profile sheds some light on the things and choices I made to help you guys play Hero too, or even to counter it, because you know, if you guys are countering it, that helps me grow as a player too. So, well, here we go. I'll jump right in. All right, YouTube. So this is going to be the deck profile itself. Before I get started, I would like to point out, like, hey guys, like, don't be afraid to follow your dreams and do what you want to do. It's always been one of my goals to top a regional with Hero, and I know even though I topped nationals first and even YCSs first, what got me into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh was finding out that there was regionals from a random tournament at Anime Expo, and that's what got me into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, and it makes me really happy to finally top this regional. So yeah guys, don't be afraid to follow your dreams, follow your goals, no matter how long it takes. But anyway, here's the deck profile. So we have one Crosskeeper. Yeah, I'm still running him, and I gave a pretty good in-depth explanation in my nationals video on why. Basically, he makes your draw 2 combo with liquid a draw 4, and that's really important to see utility cards. But I'm not going to go too into depth. If you guys want to see the in-depth about a lot of the card choices that I kept from nationals, make sure to check out my nationals video. But like I said, I'm making this video real quick before work. So I'm gonna mainly be focusing on the new card choices I did. But I'll go ahead and give a little details on the old one, but I go more in depth in my nationals video. So there's that Crosskeeper. And of course the man himself, Neos. You know, it's 2023 and we get to run vanilla cards. That's pretty cool to me. And then of course for the E-Hero package, besides Neos, we run the 3 Stratos, Mist, and the Liquid. I'm still doing 1 Mist, even though a Rise Heart's not in the format. I just wanted more space for utility cards, and 1 Mist has been doing me well, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just stick with the 1 Mist. And Lady Mist does her job. That's all I got to say about that. And next up we have the Vision Hero package, the 2 Vion, the 2 Increase, and then the 3 Vision Hero Ferris. So yeah, I don't think I really need to explain this either. Ferris is really good. Ferris combo is important. I know there's discrepancies between 1 and 2, and I don't like to bash other people's ideas. Like, I know people get really heated on this. Like, I was on a Facebook group and I was explaining why 2 Increase is good, and I even stated that, hey, I understand why someone would run 1, and this guy got totally heated with me on it, started calling me the R word and stupid, and I was just like, whoa, like, I don't get it. Like, I like to approach things with an open mindset because that's how we grow as a player. So yeah, I understand why some people run 1, but as I explained in my nationals videos, I run 2 because I just don't want a 12% chance of not being able to combo with Ferris. And Ferris is a really important combo line. When it goes off, it goes off. Especially with Crosskeeper, when you're drawing 4, like, you want the plus 1 and 2 that Ferris and the Vion grants as on top of drawing 4. Because by the time this combo is over, you're usually deck thinning by like 12 cards, which is a little bit like 30% probably a little less, but like 25. But it's like going through this combo and then drawing 4, drawing 2. It's just it's really good for consistency's sake. So I want to be able to do it. So that's why I run 2 increase. But you know, I keep an open mind on why people run 1, and I get it because I used to run 1 too. But when I kept drawing the 1 increase at big events and then losing because of it, I realized it was a player issue. And yeah, you can be like, oh, that's unlucky, but at the end of the day, a 12% chance is huge. So I didn't want to take that chance anymore. So here we go. And then we also got the Destiny Hero line. 2 Mally, we already know. The man denier himself gives us 4 Mallies. Mr. Dark Angel and Plasma himself. Plasma's great, love Plasma. He's actually a lot better this format too. He was really good last format, but he's really good this format, especially for Unchained and Pearly. And I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about Dark Angel, and I'll admit I was too. But I had to admit, he in such a very wide format, he's still very good because he covers a lot of other decks too. And he may not cover the top 3, but I decided how I'm going to play this deck is I'm going to play it like when Cash has Zone Lock 5, and they will let their hand dictate what board to make, whether it's a Rise Heart pass or Zone Lock 5 pass. And what I mean by that is you'll see that I still run the Floodgates in the main, and I would let my hand decide, okay, am I going to go for the Dark Angel FTK, or am I going to go Dark Law DPE pass? Because I realize Dark Law is the man this format, and he's really strong, and he cuts off a lot of decks' bounce packs, and some decks can't even play through him, which is why a lot of people were really happy, including myself, that Arise Heart got banned. So I was like, okay, now I'm the Arise Heart, so let's be the Arise Heart. But now I'm the Cash player. I'm deciding, do I want to FTK you if I open up Rivalry or Gozen, or even Book of Moon? Or do I want to just go DPE Dark Law with favorite contact set? Both boards are scary. Both boards mean something. And yes, both boards can play through Nib. So I'll take that any day. So there's the Destiny Hero package. And then on to the spell cards. Of course, we got the 1 Rhoda. I know everybody was scared of Joel, but I feel like, especially since I'm playing Crosskeeper, this card was just too good to cut for me, so I kept it in. We're still playing the Foolish. I like the idea of playing 3 Crosskeeper and being able to draw 4 during my combo. And you know, Foolish is an extra utility card. It adds a lot to your 1.5 combos. And then we have 3 Fusion Destiny and 3 A Hero Lives. And I don't think I really need to explain these. I don't know. I guess it's in my destiny that A Hero Lives. you get what I'm saying? These cards are really good. We got the Poly, we got the Miracle. I do like double Poly, but like I said, I wanted to make more space for utility cards, and 1 has been doing me fine. So I decided to just keep the 1 Poly. I do see why people run 2 though. Poly is a good card in this deck, and it's very important, and people have been stopping my Vion line. But I take a slightly different approach to that. It's the same approach I take to Shifter or Joel. If you're going to end my turn, I'm going to end yours. But I see the warrant for 2, but right now I'm just sticking to 1 for now. And then we got the 2 Mass Change. I'm still doing 2 in main, mainly because I don't want to see 3, or I don't really want to see this card going second most of the time. And seeing 2 is good, but only if you're really going first. And most of the other times, if you do see 2 going first, it could just be another extender, another utility card. So you really just want to see this card once. Sometimes 2 is good. So I was like, you know what? Taking concepts from GOAT format, you only want to run 3 of a card. You rarely run 3 of a card, and you want to run 2 if you want to see it, but don't want to see multiples. So 2 is the favorite number in GOAT format, and 2 is actually my favorite number now, because it's like there's a lot of cards you want to see but you don't want to see too much of, and I think Mass Change is one of them. Unless I know I'm going first, then that changes. And then this was one of the changes I made. I decided to main thrust instead of sided. You guys will see why I do main a certain trap card, because like I said, if people are going to end your turn, you got to end their turn right back. And I do agree, thrust is probably one of the best utility cards you can have. I think droplets is really good too, even though I know a lot of people disagree on that. But being able to thrust into talents or thrust into other cards, or even thrust into Fusion Destiny makes it really strong. And I know you guys are probably thinking, well, why not just main 2 or 3? Basically, for the same reasoning and logic, I only run 1 talent. I don't want to see multiples of this card. Seeing multiples of this card can be a death sentence in certain matchups. And heroes already struggle with weird hands sometimes just because we run cards like Neos. So I really wanted to cut that fact down. But I was about to play 2. I just made a last minute change to 1 because I decided to just play a 3rd droplet in the main. I was going to play 2 of this 2 droplet, but I decided to just play 1 since I'm already playing the talents. And I think talents, even I know a lot of people are kind of iffy on this, but this card's really good against Unchained. This card's really good for going 2nd. And going 1st, if they hand trap you, it's almost an auto win almost every time. So it's just really good. We got the 3 Book of Moon. I know a lot of people don't like this card since the Rise Heart's gone, but the truth is Pearly is still a threat. And these could, if you guys want, these could be Eclipses. I do see warrants for Eclipses. The reason I picked Book over Eclipse though is because it's just too good with Dark Angel. It's too good going 1st. Because people will try to imperm. People see this deck and they think, oh, imperm the increase. Well, imperm the increase, I resolve the book. And even the better players, they'll try to imperm the Vion, and even booking the Vion is good. Because if you prepare for that, like for example, if you hero lives and search the 2nd Vion, instead of just like trying to go for the liquid, when you know you're playing against a hand trap deck like Pearly or something, you search the 2nd Vion, and then you do your Ferris combo if you already got the combo, of course. And then you go, and this is how I play around Ash too, by the way. I've done it even going blind 1st, not knowing what I'm playing. I'll literally go hero live, search the Vion, 2nd Vion, if I already have Ferris combo in hand, and then I Ferris combo. And it puts them in a position to where if it tells me 2 things. It tells me if they're good or not, because I'm pretty good at reading people's faces, I feel like. And when they see me search the 2nd Viron and then lead out with Ferris, their face will kind of drop and be like, dang, like, so that'll tell me they have a hand trap. And that'll tell me they realize the situation that they can't hand trap my Vion anymore because I have the 2nd one in hand. And if they don't realize it and they hand trap it, it tells me that, okay, they may not be like, realize the situation they're in, which means I can put them in more situations later. So they'll hand trap the Vion and then I summon the 2nd one and it's pretty much, okay, I got a free card out of your hand. And just book helps facilitate those plays so much. And the synergy this card has with droplets, it's just, it's insane. And droplets is, like, I know a lot of people think hero is bait, and they think that it can't go 2nd because they just see our turn 1 board, but the truth is, and even the guy I played against, Cody, who's a really good player, even he recognized, he was like, I would argue hero has a slightly better going 2nd turn. And I thought about it with him, and I was like, yeah bro, I kind of agree, because we get to play cards like droplets and make this free, whereas a lot of decks, they can play the droplets but it's not free for them. And then we have a lot of cards we can chain to the droplets. And it's not just droplet that makes hero good. We have literally 6 1-card starters and 3 1.5 card starters, and which is Ferris, 3 Ferris. And it's like, sometimes our engine can overcome other people's engines. And the fact that most of the time all we need is 1 utility card to break the board is kind of insane to me. Like, I've broken boards with just book alone or just talents alone, but if I ever go 2nd and draw both book and droplets, I rarely lose that game as long as I draw engine with it. And that's because just the hero engine is so strong at comboing. And like for example, Wake Up himself literally reads, I'm either going to be an engine card to get you the Dark Law, get you the Plasma, get you the Dark Angel, or I'm going to OTK you. And yeah, it's just surprising to me that people think hero can't go 2nd, especially when most of the games I won this regional was going 2nd. Because matter of fact, the 1 game I lost, I went 1st. So I don't know. Like I know a lot of people think decks like Heroes or Reek are bait, but I just think Heroes has a really high ceiling, and you need to have spent a lot of time with the deck in order to really understand it. And it's okay. It's an obscure deck. I get it. I get people not wanting to study the deck. So I understand the comments, but I just don't think the comments are true. And I think my results kind of back that up. So I don't know. But book is good in this deck, like really good in this deck. I understand it's not the greatest in this format, but the fact that it's so strong with the deck is the reason I'm still playing it. And then drop list is good too. And then the next up, we have, let me show you my favorite hero. Favorite contact, Revolt for Heroes. Adds another layer. Heroes all in the past always struggled with having another layer. Like even though I was one of those players who'd be like, some of the Dark Law, well, they better have the out. Well, besides the other stuff that gives this deck layers that it got through legacy support, favorite contact was a huge one because it just gave it a ridiculous layer. Like even before this, I was playing through Nib, I was playing around it, but this just made it so much easier. And I literally got nibbed 4 times in tournament, and each game that I got nibbed, I won. Simply because you're getting this on the 5th summon, and I play the Floodgates, and I play Book, and DPE is just such a strong card. Having this in DPE blows out a lot of decks. Just not Unchained because they float. Sad face. That's what happened to me in finals, but it's okay. Unchained's a really good deck. But yeah, like I was thinking about cutting this on last format and running a super poly build, which I think is pretty legit too, because I was seeing that float around online getting success. But I decided not to do it because even though I agree super poly is really good, I didn't want to cut spaces from my extra deck or my side deck to do it. But I do see the merit for running super poly, and I would like to shout out the Justice League. They know who they are. It's a group chat I'm in. I don't want to expose the Justice League, but they know who they are. They helped me get a lot of insight on the format, and one of the insights was about super poly, and I decided not to run it myself, not because I thought it was bad. I actually think it's really good. But me personally, I wanted to just run more straight up utility cards instead of cutting the space in the extra deck or cutting the space in the side deck. So, because I was about, like I said, I was about to cut this just to make the super poly. So, that's that. And then next up, you guys did see I mained the Thrust. I am playing the Daruma Cannon. The reason I chose this over Dimensional Barrier is stronger going first. But also another reason I didn't want to do D-Barrier is since it is such a wide format, and I feel like a lot of decks can do well. Literally when I was testing D-Barrier at a local, I go the Dark Angel lock, and he ashes something, and then I go Thrust into D-Barrier, and I'm like, oh, I win, I'm set. And then it turns out he's playing Marincess. So I'm like, well, that's that. So yeah, I wanted something very universal. I also wanted another Alto Noir if I needed it. And then also, this card's actually really good going second too, especially with the Floodgate. There's actually a game where an exosister player, he shifted me and he went first. And then I won literally because all I did was I set Book of Moon. I set this, and I set Gozen. Yeah, I know Gozen sucks against him, but just hear me out. And then basically I used the Book to make him burn, because I saw him search his second and last Martha, and he used a Martha to combo. So I can tell, just by reading the player, I could tell he was just going for follow-up instead of like solidifying a board, because he already felt his board was solidified, which is true because he had 2 unknown back rows, which ended up being Imperm. And he also ended up having Book of Moon, which I found out. And so this is how I found it out. On his turn, I book his monster. So he has 1 exceed. He summons Martha, summons another monster, and then I book his Martha. So because I'm thinking I'm going to play this like Mirror Force to where I get them to extend their resources, and then I punish. So as predicted, he goes and summons the other Exo, other Martha he had in hand, just to try to like exceed, because he specialed 1, got the effect, and then he normal summons, and then that's when I flip the Daruma Cannon, and now he has 4 monsters face down he can't do anything with. So then on my follow-up next turn, I make an Ab-Zero and a Wonder Driver, and I'm about to link off. He goes Imperm the Wonder Driver, so I'm like, okay. When I summon Ab-Zero under it, and then when he sees me looking through my extra deck, he goes after res, Book of Moon, Chain Book. And he wasn't really trying to shark, because it was still within the window. I did start looking through my extra deck fast, so that's kind of my fault. So I let him do it. I'm not gonna shark him. I understand the tempo of the game, but I ended up chaining Gozen, and like, yeah, Gozen's not good against Exo. They're all light, but it was good in this situation because I ended up chaining Gozen match, sending my absolute zero, destroying his second and third Martha, because remember, he already used one to combo, and clearing his whole board, because I can tell his whole game plan after getting stopped. Okay, well, I'm just going to stop the zero pop, make sure he doesn't board clear, and kill him next turn. And he only had one card in hand. And he burned through both of his back row just through both of those interactions. So I was like, okay, I have the green light to go. I didn't combo, I was poking with Wonder Driver for a minute, and he even ended up summoning Chaos Angel against me. But the thing is, I played my deck in layers to where it's like, okay, once the Wonder Driver's gone, you might have a big bad threat, which probably won't be an exceed because you're out of your Marthas. So I knew I was winning the grind game. Just once the Wonder Driver's gone, that's when I slammed the Fusion Destiny down, and it was game after that. Because then I go Plasma DPE and just beat them that way. And this was through a turn 1 shifter. Just sometimes instead of trying to combo through things, especially something like a shifter, we just got to play defense, guys. And that's what this card lets you do, even if you go first. So I really like this card, and I was really impressed, even though it was a last minute throw in for me. I was really impressed with it. Double Gozen, double Rivalry. I will say Gozen is a lot better this format. However, I decided to stick with Rivalry 2 in the main because I really like this ratio 2-2. You never really want to see 2 of these. 2, it makes it to where you have 4 Floodgates versus their 3 hand traps, whether it's Nid, 3 Ash, 3 Joel. Like, you have 4 Floodgates to it, 3 Shifter. So it increases your chances to see it more than they do for one particular hand trap. Of course, not hand traps overall if they happen to be running all those hand traps. But that's another thing. In this format, there's not really that many decks, besides like Vanquish Soul and stuff, that this one hand trap hurts. However, Vanquish Soul loses to these 2. So that's really big. So there's that. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. I had to go check something real quick, but that's why I run these. Like, these cards are just really good for defense, and they're good for offense. They create the FTK with Dark Angel, so that's why I play them. There's more description in my Nationals video if you guys would like to see it. So that's the main deck. I still run 45, and I don't, like I said, that number really works for me, so that's what I'm gonna go with. And using combo deck theory, like, you know, you don't want to see your bricks as much, and even though I do see power cards less often, I'll take that trade in order to run more utility and defensive cards that help me stall out shifters and Joels. So that's that. And then next up we also have, sorry guys, I'm just trying to make this video really quick before I work, so I forgot to kind of set some things up. I'm going to explain or go through the extra deck really quick. Nothing much has changed, but I will say this. I have contemplated running 1 Dark Law, and I did run it at locals 1, but through the more and more testing I did, I realized, hey, Dark Law's kind of that guy right now. He may not lock out all the decks, and they may be able to play through it, but usually after they play through it, they don't have much of a bounce back. And for decks like Unchained or Pearly, that's what you want to do, because you're not going to lock them out per se. Like, you can, but not it. What makes those decks good is how many utility slots they have and how well they're able to play through stuff. That's what makes that deck good, those 2 decks good, and I view those 2 decks as some of the best decks this format. So how you want to approach them is you want to cut off their bounce back. If you can't cut them off from the front, cut them off from the back. Make sure they don't have a follow-up. And then as hero, our follow-up and our gas is usually really, really strong. So it's like, if I can cut back your bounce back and just survive your initial push, I should be able to push past you. And that's how I approached a lot of my matchups, and I feel like got me a lot of the wins. So the reason I'm saying this is because, yeah, I decided to go back to 2 Dark Law, and I am playing the Blast because Blast is just really good for dodging impermanent Veilers, and he's really good against the back row decks too. Like, he combos with the back row decks. Like, if I go like Stratos Chain, Mass Change, and then I'm blowing up your field. And then 2 Dark Law because he does, if they try to out your Dark Law and they're either losing or losing a lot from it, and you do set up a double Dark Law play, the second Dark Law is usually just game. So it's just too good. And then of course we have the Shining Neo Swingman and the favorite package, Mr. Infernal Rage. I don't think I need to explain this much. Having an extra deck card that's Revolt, Tri-Brigade, Sure Egg is... but I mean, coughing multiple is ridiculous. He's also indestructible. Wake up! Wake up, everybody. Heroes are here. We aren't bait. Pretty good. Mr. Sunrise himself, bringing the sun with him. I love this card. He, like, being able to extend with Miracle Fusion is great. Mr. Ab-Zero himself, Mr. Board Break. You gotta love it. And, you know, being 25 is pretty beefy, but being able to break boards by himself is pretty good. And, like I mentioned earlier, sometimes saving your Miracle Fusion for the Liquid Draw 2, or earlier in my Nationals video, for the Liquid Draw 2 and clear board is pretty good. It's me, it's DPE. Shoutouts to Michael Bowden, that's his line, but I promise. Me and him are friends, by the way, so don't think I'm just stealing his jokes, but me and him are friends. But I was saying it while summoning it, it's just so catchy, but how could you hate DPE? And not only that, he gives heroes a grind game. This is one of the strongest cards. If you have a simplified game state and it's DPE versus their 1 or 2 cards even, you're winning. And that's what I was doing against Pearly. Like, I noticed if I can't lock them out of the game, because they're really good at that. Like, even though Plasma can lock them out, they can out the Plasma. DPE was winning me the games against Pearly. And that's how I was beating them. I would just exhaust their resources, they would exhaust mine, and then I'd be like, okay, well, it's me, DPE. And he would just win the game by himself. So simplify game state, guys. Like, heroes have a grind, and it's him. And this is the change I made. I was pretty happy about it, but sad face, I do miss it. I only play 1 Wonder Driver because this is the change I was happy about. I decided to play Dangerous. I wanted to play Dangerous not only because he makes your solo Violent hands really, really good, by actually giving you a combo line that's not just draw 2 and pray. He also has a combo line with Crosskeeper that I did at locals, so where you can set up Dark Angel favorite contact, and I'm just like, and draw 2. So I was just like, yo, this card is sick. I have to play it. And since Cash Tier isn't in the format, I felt more comfortable playing, or should I say Rise Heart, I felt more comfortable playing this and playing one of this. And I was really sad about cutting the second one, and it did come up where the second one would have been so good plenty of times throughout the regional. But considering the games are being decided at a faster-ish pace, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try out one because I really want to try out Dangerous. And then also the really important thing about Dangerous, I mentioned earlier that Dark Law was the man. Dangerous turns Fusion Destiny into a Dark Law, so I really wanted access to Dark Law at every point of the match. So there we go. And then we also have extra hero Infernal Devicer. Yeah, he's part of the favorite contact line. He's really good. And then 2 Cross Crusader. I don't think I need to explain him. That's the man. Konami, make him super. At least super. If you don't want to make him secret, if you don't want to make him ultra, if you don't want to make him ultimate ghost or whatever, at least give us a super. Like, he would look so nice hollow. But yeah, 2 Cross. And he's really important to the deck. And then last but not least, guys, I know a lot of hero players are cutting this because they're just like, I don't see the point in it, or it doesn't come up enough. And I don't know, every time I play at a local, every time I play at a major, he comes. Actually, I will say this major, I did not make him. I don't think I may have made him once, that's it. But however, whenever I do make him, Elemental Hero Baguska is just insane, crazy. And especially at locals when I was testing, he kept coming up. Like, and my friends is my witness, they would see me get shifted, they would see me get drolled on the hero, like on the hero, and have hero lives in hand. Not only is hero lives a combo piece, but if you're running this, hero lives turns into a safety net. And I don't want to get drolled on hero lives in the Stratos and then not be able to play and then be like, dang, I can't combo, so I lost. No, I'm going to make the Baguska and I'm going to set my back row and I'm going to pass. And now you got to get through multiple layers, even though you drolled me, even though you shifted me, and now you have one less card in hand too. And Elemental Hero Baguska is just, bro, like, he's insane. And as long as turn in hand traps for the hero deck are in the format, I will be playing him. So you can bet I will be playing E-Hero Baguska. And I understand the reasoning for people not wanting to play him. I get it. Like, you know, everybody has their differences in opinions, and I actually encourage it because that's how we grow as a community and player. But me personally, like, I'm gonna play this card because I don't want to complain about Droll and Shifter when there's stuff I can do about it, and he's one of my answers that I have developed about it. So shout outs to Tearlaments for showing me that concept of just making Baguska when you get Shifter, because we can do it too. All right, here's the side deck, and this is the part of the deck that changed a lot, and I was pretty happy with it. There are some changes I'll make. I'll explain in the video. The 2 Bestial Druid Swarms, I felt really safe having them in the deck. It allowed you to be better about your Unchained matchup. I kind of do wish I played 3 so I could just see him more, because I didn't see him as much as I wanted to, but when I did put him in, he was very much appreciated. And I definitely needed more experience playing this card with the hero interactions, because I actually ended up misplaying with this against my Despia branded Chimera opponent. So where I should have just passed my turn instead of trying to combo, and then Druid Swarm his Rinworm bounce back, because what he ended up doing, I tried to combo, and then he outbazzed me with that fusion. Though I think I'm calling it wrong, but I think it's Rinworm, and he brought back the Fallen Alabaz, and he fused with my field. Whereas if I would have just passed my turn, he doesn't fuse with my field, and then during his turn, because you don't want to do this, and then they chain the Rinworm, that you don't want to do that. So you want to wait till their turn, because they can only do it during my turn. And then at the end phase, I should have just Bestialed him, because I had him under Gozen, so he was kind of locked into something. So all I had to do was do that, Gozen, Bestial, and then go off, because he's dark, so he works under Gozen, and then just go off with Denier and stuff engraved and make my DP, and then I would have been fine. But you know, we live and we learn, and I could have definitely played better with this card, but I don't regret siding this card, and I actually think I should have sided 3. So pretty good card for this format. 2 Joel. I was really happy I played this card again. I took it out after Nationals for a little bit because I felt like it was too inconsistent to play, especially with everybody crossing it out, because Joel had a target on his back. But now with the new format, I felt like Joel didn't, and especially with Joel falling off, I felt like he didn't have a target on his back. And I also anticipated decks like Dark World and Vanadium coming back, because those decks are pretty good when a Rise Heart's not in the format. And then, of course, seeing Flu win Cancun, I was like, no. I was like, no, we're not going to lose the Flu. So I decided to play 2 Joel. And whenever I saw it, I was really happy to see it. I actually ended up seeing it against a Purley player. I know it's subpar against Purley, but I also know they play cards like Pot of Prosperity, which is another one of the best utility cards. So I was willing to take that chance for just 2 slots in my main deck. And it actually won me one of my games against Purley, because he did open the subpar hand to where he couldn't play around it, and he led with continuous spell first. So when I saw that, I knew this was the green light. So that ended up, like, I like Joel. Joel's also good against Dragon Link, which is a very bad matchup. So when I wasn't playing this, I played against Ryan, who also topped Vegas Regionals at a case tournament, which I ended up getting 3rd in. And he got 2nd, and he destroyed me, and I didn't have these in my side, and I just felt so useless against Dragon Link. So I was just like, you know what, yeah, these are going back in. And I was really happy I played them. This is the spice, y'all. Lancia. I know you guys are like, what? Lancia's not that good. Lancia. So I feel like this is kind of hero specific, but I do like Lancia overall because 1, Flu won Cancun. So any deck that wins, I'm going to respect. If they have results, I'm going to respect. If they have a top, I'm going to respect. I'm not just going to write it off. And I knew Flu is one of those decks that I can see at a regional and can in my tournament. So even though I didn't play against it, I wanted to respect Flip. Not only that, when I was testing and theorizing with this card, I realized that because I was theorizing with one of my Canadian friends that I played at a local, Eric, who's really good on theory and playing and application. I really wish he would have went to the regional. I think he would have showed out. But yeah, this card is one of the few cards, and because they can't cross out it, nobody else is running it. This card is one of the few cards that lowers the Vanadium board ceiling very, very low. Because what Eric pointed out to me is that if you stop the cross sheet play, they lose a lot of their steam. Instead of ending on like 5 interruptions, they'll only maybe end on a negate and Chaos Angel, or maybe a negate with the Omni, and that's it. And that is a lot. But I would rather lower their ceiling from 5 or 6 interruptions to 2 at the price of 1 card, because every card is important. So yeah, because you stop their fusion with this. And then also with the Red Dragon Archfiend stuff out, I wanted to respect that. And then also with Dragon Link, like being able to cut off their Chaos Engine makes it to where they may have only 1, maybe 2 interruptions if they have a hand trap. Because the most they can do under this is maybe, I might be wrong, but from when I was testing with my friend Keith, they can usually only make the Heretic Seal because they need the Bishals and they need their Chaos Engine to really like go the crazy board. Like the Bishals is how they get the layers of the trap and Branded Regained, and being able to like cut that off is really big. And this is also pretty good against Dark World. I didn't play against Dark World, but I just wanted something wide that can lower ceilings, and this was it. So 2 Lancia. Alright, now this card, oh my god. Sphere mode, and Sphere mode was very impactful this tournament, very impactful in testing. Like I said, against my Canadian friend Eric, he had this crazy board with like 5 or 6 interruptions, and the only way I beat him was literally going Sphere mode, having a combo off of Ferris, and then I goes and match. So even if he would have stopped the combo, I would have goes in and locked him out of his turn. And then I can get rid of this by tributing with Ferris face down, or even Book of Mooning it, or Droplets if they had another monster somehow. But like I'm able to play this because I have 15 cards I can draw with it. So that's why I play it. Like normal summon is important, normal summon Stratus is important, but having 3 Hero Lives, 3 Fusion Destiny, and 3 Ferris with 6 Floodgates, 15 cards to draw with this, I was like, it's too good not to like play. And actually when I wasn't playing Joel, I was playing this because this card was good against the decks Joel was good against, and you can't cross out it. And actually, fun story, in the regional, I played against Dinomorphia. Game 3, he goes first. This dude has 4 back row, which 2 ended up being the 1 ended up being the fusion, 1 ended up being Solemn Strike, 1 ended up being Gozen, and 1 ended up being Anti-Spell Fragrance, and then the other ended up being Ferret Flames. And it's like, bro, a lot of decks lose to that. like if you don't draw evenly, that's it. But no, I had multiple outs and evenly end this, and I drew this, so I outed his board because everything's main phase, so he has to do it in main phase. And then I ended up setting my Fusion Destiny at Hero Lives and just going off next turn. And he even tried to do the whole okay, which is what I do when I sphere mode somebody, I goes in them. So he let the raw sphere mode come back to me and tried to goes in me, and I was like, okay, cool, tribute. I know how to play around my own cards. Tribute, summon Ferris, set, and then I went off. But this card is like that's just a testament to how strong this card is, being able to out a board like that, and that's how I got the game. So yeah, I really like Sphere mode in this deck, and I run 3 because I run 45, and I'm scared I'm not going to draw it. So it's like, considering it's so high impact in this deck specifically, I'm like, yeah, I want to draw it, so I ran 3. And next up, I do side the 1 Mass Change still, and like I said, I think Dark Wall's that man, and if I go first, that's the card I want to see. The Mass Change, like, Dark Wall's good. And then Called by a Grave, you know, I think it's strong strictly going first unless you're playing Branded or Branded Chimera, just Branded in general, or even Unchained. I think it's actually pretty good against Unchained going second, but it makes it to where you have to draw other utility cards, and I'm not lucky. So I'm not trying to like just bank on Called by the Grave being in the main and drawing other utility cards. I'd rather do that after post side because I side into more utility cards, so it's like, okay, I'll have you in the side deck. And then of course the last 3 copies of the Gozen in the Rivalry. I don't think I need to explain these any further. Really good cards. And then last but not least, I was playing one for the longest, evenly matched at locals. But then going to a regional, I decided, you know what? It's a really wide format. You are going to play against a lot of rogue. I expect it. And because rogue can do well right now. Like, I respect the format. So I decided to play the second one. And with thrust, it's like I'm playing 3. And I'm really glad I did, because this actually came up against the Pearly player I was playing. Because like I said, against Pearly, you're not going to stop them all the time. So what you want to do, and I actually learned this because of the Justice League, they told me this. They're like, what you want to do is you want to evenly them and cut off their bounce back. So that's literally what I did. I had thrust in this, and I did misplay by doing this first and then thrust, because I didn't anticipate him getting rid of his monster, but of course he did. So I was like, dang, because I booked it on the Pearly League. But by me evenly matching him and then having a follow-up next turn, which should have been that turn, I should have thrusted first and grabbed the Fusion Destiny, because he did do the effective draw. But anyway, by me having that, it made it to where he could not compete. And remember what I said about DPE, guys. If you get DPE'd in a simplified game state, which is what this does, it's just too good. So I'm glad I bumped it up to 2, because that made it to where I can see it reasonably. And then of course 3 with the thrust. But that's that, guys. I do want to mention, like, I just think Heroes is really good. So that's that, YouTube. That's the deck profile that I got second at LA Regionals with in an 800+ man tournament. But thank you guys. I had so much fun playing, and I'm getting more enjoyment out of making these videos as well. And I hope you guys like it, and thank you so much for watching. And I did gloss over some of the card choices that I also made at Nationals, because it's pretty much the same concepts, but I still do have my Nationals video up if you guys want to check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. So check that out. And thank you so much. If you did like the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That helps the hero out tremendously. And hey guys, Christmas hero out.